Hello and welcome to another episode of this podcast where we discuss general trivial stuff which tends to come into our head, keep it in itself. We can tend to think about it a lot, and then with time it leads to overthinking and makes no productivity in our mind. So today we are going to discuss one such topic which is conditioned in our mind at a very early age in our life when we are children, which is success and failure. Now these are two terms which are defined to us by our teachers, by our parents, and by our peers, that is our friends. And later on, from our childhood, when we grow up, we become adults as well. When we are adolescents, we tend to see ourselves succeeding or failing in life because of the notion, because of the definition that has been set when we were children, and that needs to be altered a little bit to an extent in order to make a little more sense in life, because as we grow up, the dynamics of our livelihood changes, and we tend to have a different objective in our life. As a child, when you are 5 years old or 6 years old, your parents must be asking you to get 90 marks out of 100 or 100 marks out of 100, because that is a possibility at that age. You can score full marks, you cannot go wrong anywhere, and you can score full marks. So that is considered to be a success. And sometimes they say that okay, if you score less than 90, you're not performing that well. Some people, they take the extra mile and they start stating this, that if you're not scoring more than 100, it's almost as bad as failure. So in such conditions, in such situations, what are we supposed to do? Because that is what we establish for ourselves, and nobody tends to amend it. As we grow up, as I said, when we grow up, scoring 100 out of 100 is not possible. There are places where you miss out on marks. The most common example is you never score full marks in languages, and that needs to be kept in mind. So similarly, this is very trivial, very basic example, but yes, with age things change, dynamics change, the competition changes with time, and we need to understand that the goals that we have set for ourselves should match up with our aspirations, our own aspirations, nothing that is forced upon us or conditioned by someone else. So when we talk about these aspirations, when we talk about success and failure, we need to make sure that what we are aspiring to achieve is what we are going to determine or keep our benchmark for success and failure with that. And I am not saying that there is no such thing as failure. Most often, very commonly, you will hear many popular figures, many famous personalities saying that we failed a lot of times in life. Only then did we taste the success in our life, and we actually did not make it big in one go. That is true. But again, individual aspirations, individual targets, and individual achievements have to be considered. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to make sure that your aspirations and your targets are achievable by the effort that you are putting. You cannot think that just by sitting at home and planning certain things, it will mold itself into a product and you will become successful overnight. It requires a certain amount of effort that is to be put in. Once you do that, and once you analyze that okay, on putting X amount of effort is going to give me Y amount of product or result, that is what understanding, expecting Y out of X is your goal, is your analytical calculated target that you want to achieve. That should be your aspiration, not that someone ABC has put in X effort and has gained Z, so you also want to gain Z. Maybe there is some sort of a different approach that they are using, your approach and their approach is different, so it's not possible, it's not practically possible to get the same result when the process is different. So what you want to do is the only way you can define success and failure. Every one of us is going to consider certain stages of their lives as failure. It's very normal, it's very natural to have higher aspirations than the effort that we put, and then we automatically set the bar too high for us to consider ourselves as failures. But that is not the truth. It's basically we did not know how to set up our bar and how we wanted to conduct our own plans and try to achieve our own aspirations. Yes, maybe you wanted to be something in life which you did not get. You tried your best and you did not succeed there. And yes, that will be defined as a failure. But is that failure always going to teach you important lessons? Maybe or maybe not. It's not obvious, it is not that obvious that you are going to learn something out of your failures. In most cases, what happens is we hear a lot of motivational speeches by billionaires, we see by actors, we see by sportsmen. They all say that my failures taught me something. But we think we keep this image, or we start visualizing this that once they failed, the next day onwards, they started working on their failure and they understood what went wrong. The lesson was not that instantaneous, is what we want to know, or is what we need to understand. If they did learn something out of their failures, then it definitely means that it took some time. Sometimes it can take as long as 2 years, 3 years to understand what exactly went wrong when you are trying to analyze your mistakes. Sometimes it can happen overnight because the mistakes were very obvious. Sometimes they were not, so it might take time. So don't think that if you are not able to analyze your mistakes, or you cannot analyze your failures in general, it does not mean that you are incapable of doing so. Trust me when I say this, 2 years down the lane, 3 years down the lane, when you have experienced a big failure in your life, you will automatically one day understand that okay, this is what went wrong, because our brain matures with time and it gains more knowledge and more information, which is used or which is processed by our mind itself to analyze the situation. Sometimes the lack of that knowledge is what lets you think too much and yet gain no result or no observation on why you failed. And when we talk about these things, when we talk about how do we plan, or how do we determine if a particular target has been achieved, or if we've succeeded in our life, then we automatically start the analysis from the fact that how much have we escaped failure, how much have we evaded failure. That is not how we need to analyze things. That is not optimistic, that is not even realistic. If you are thinking that okay, we evaded failure by this much, that does not determine success, which means that your analysis is from the bottom. If you are going to analyze your success, or if you are you have to check if you are successful or not, you need to see how close you are to the success and not how far you are from failure. This approach is not something that I am trying to give you as a motivation or as wishful thinking or optimism. It's just how you need to analyze, because people who think about how far they are from failure, they actually take that much time to understand what went wrong if they did fail. The 2-year span or the 3-year span where we keep on thinking of what went wrong exactly and still get no result is because we are thinking how much have we evaded failure, but in reality we were supposed to look at how close are we to success. If you determine that, you understand that okay, what we did was correct, but a little more effort has to be put in, and from that moment onwards you work on that small gap that has to be covered and not the big gap that has to be sustained in order to make sure that you are not failing in life. With this, I would just like to conclude with the fact that when we talk about success and failures, there are 3 things that are very important. The first is that you determine your targets and your success and failure according to your own expectations. Second is when you look into people's stories when they share their success and failure, please don't make it your own benchmark or your own measuring tape or weighing scale. It differs. And third, when you are analyzing your mistakes and your failures, which is very important in life, you need to make sure that your failures should not be the barometer of understanding how much you have succeeded. It should always be your success. With this, I'd just like to ask you to listen to this for listening to this podcast. A very much thank you. And if you have anything else that you want us to talk about or you want an opinion about, please share it in our comments. If you like it, please hit on like. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, and even again in YouTube, like and share as much as possible. This Bring a Smiles podcast, Bring a Smiles videos, they're all just for information. So the more you appreciate us, the more we are motivated, and we think that this is how close we are to success in sharing the information. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon. Have a great day.